Hello, beloved friends. Today is May 14th, 2020, and a beautiful time for our 12/12 awareness moments with Kyra. And I'm honored to be with you and welcome you here, Keith Vivens and Jackie Rasmussen Lawson. And I am really listening into the energies of our time. Welcome, Carol Curtis. And I'm noticing in the process of awakening at this time to what is happening energetically, being aligned and aware of it, is that there is a lot of energy moving in the collective. Hello. I think we all know that at this moment. And it's got a lot of different experiences and feelings. And those of us, especially that are sensitive to the different collective energies that are out there, and we feel those in our being, start to notice that they have effects on us. Welcome, George Powaznik and Mary Helen Merzbacher. Great to have you all with us, as well as the others we've already mentioned. And in this time of being aligned and experiencing the various energies, we get to look at what's running us, what's running our decision making and the choices that we make on a moment by moment basis. Welcome, E. Lopez Lockhart. You know, as we're making conscious choices, or maybe we're not making conscious choices, we're just going with the flow, we want to become conscious. We want to become aware of what's motivating me in the moment. And sometimes in the movement of a lot of energies around us, we may not even realize the subtleties of the kind of energies that are having influences on us. Being someone who's always been sensitive to energy and being an empath and, you know, all of those highly sensitive traits, I had to learn early on why I was constantly bombarded and learn to start to manage the information that was available to me for my own internal system, and also what I might find out about what was happening in a way that made sense of how I was being affected by the collective. But the choice to be conscious means that we no longer allow ourselves to be affected by what's outside of us. We pick and choose what we're going to do or how we're going to be, or what is it that's truly motivating every choice, every decision, every moment's experience. And it is one that requires a conscious, concentrated focus in our inner self to know what is it that's motivating me. Am I even aware as I make my next decision? Is it one that's serving the greater good of my own being? Or is it one that is out of that knee-jerk reaction or that fear base, or maybe even a more subtle level of anxiety or stress or worry about the future? And we sometimes get so caught up in the moment of whatever it is that's stirring us that we don't stop to really get clear about what's stirring us, so that then we make a different kind of a choice. Often we get into a direction we're heading with our particular decision making or our choices. And it's like we don't want to stop and pull back and re-examine our decisions a lot of times, because then we might be wishy-washy or whatever it is, or we're just focused and we get rolling. Welcome, Pat Powers. Glad to have you with us as well. And as we're in this journey of such an intensive inner time, we get to really begin to be greater and better at listening to our inner dialogue, in our inner subtleties of motivations. When I get clear about what is it that's really motivating me and what is it I really want, the universe answers immediately when I have clarity. The challenge most of us have is that we have mixed messages going on within our own being. Some of them very conscious, some of them unconscious. And so a part of our examination, our self-awareness, know thyself is one of the greatest statements of all time, is that that's the place where we're learning what is it that's really motivating what I desire at this moment. Am I trying to get away from something that I'm uncomfortable with? Am I moving towards something that I truly desire? Have I clarified that desire in such a way that I can articulate it in my own heart, mind, and being? I can write it down if that's a very powerful thing to do, is to articulate my greatest desires. Not some that were given to me culturally, or that were given to me by my family dynamics, or that were given to me outside of my internal being. But what's the greatest desire of my heart and soul? When I start to get that kind of clarity, I start to claim my sovereignty, my conscious awareness and willingness to do what's right for me. Whew, okay, everybody breathe that in. I claim not only my sovereignty, but my conscious choice to do what's the highest and best for me. If it's the highest and best for me, it will be the highest and best for the collective. It will be what supports others around me. If I'm denying what's really going on inside of me and what my greatest impulse is, because those desire is of God or of the Father, it represents that idea that the universe is impulsing us to be who we're called to be more of that true nature, that unlimited, unbounded self. I love that idea. How unlimited and unbounded are we? I had a discovery within myself this week, and it was one of those that is kind of stunning, because we think we know things. That I always have to laugh, because if I think I know, I'm in trouble. Most important decision I can make is to know I don't know, and to know that really I can only know in the moment of revelation, in this moment when things are revealed in my moving forward, as I take that step, like Robin Williams did in the movie. What was the movie? I can't think of the name right now. What Dreams May Come. And he steps out in what appears to be the unknown. The platform rises before him to support him. And for us, when we recognize we don't know and we step into that unknown awareness, then what rises up is what we need to know in this now moment to support us in the next level of revelation, the next level of awareness that wants to come and express. Or what is blocking us from that will show up in a way for us to see it, bring it into the light, and then I can free myself from being lived by that which is what I really don't want over here, the anxiety or the stress or the fear or the doubt or the lack of worthiness or the underlying messages that I have inside me that are not the truth of my being, that are not what I really want to be propelling me forward into a higher level experience and expression in the world. When I get clear about that, then all of a sudden, those conflicted places in me begin to show up so that I can see, I have something running my energy at this point, or that I'm giving power to outside of myself or responding to out here because I haven't been clear within myself. As I get that clarity, I let go of knowing and I dive into the mystery of what wants to inform me within myself this day. Then all of a sudden, a new revelation may happen. I had made the decision a couple months ago that I was going to sell my house. And I had, all kinds of reasons that I was doing this, and it was based upon a number of things that had happened. And at the same time, there has been this resistance in me to do this. And at this moment, I had this revelation suddenly. I don't want to sell my house. I don't have to sell my house. Why is it I believe that I need to sell my house, or that I put myself into a circumstance that I thought I needed that? And what I realized was that at some core level, there was a limited belief that was something I didn't even realize was operating. The moment I made the decision, I'm not selling my house, I'm staying. I love my house. I love being in this house. It's perfect for me. And I love what I've done with it. Welcome, Aaron Conrad. My cousin is here. And in this experience of recognition that I had this underlying belief that was hooked in that I didn't even realize, went way back. And it went to a realization that was freeing me from limitation, from places where I was still carrying a this or that reality in my being. I hadn't realized that. I teach all the time about both and. One of these actual awareness moments was about us moving into both and yet here I was running a program within myself and not realizing that program was running my decision making. So a part of what's happening as we stop and spend this time internally, we're getting to notice what are those decisions and choices that are on automatic or that we believe need to be a certain way because we think we know something. We all recognize right now more than ever, we don't know. We don't know what's next. We don't know what it is that's happening exactly. There's so much different information out there. And those of us that think we know are relying on a particular piece of information have got ourselves all bound up because then that knowing has resistance to it. And that's what I did in my own decision. And when I freed that, then that whole pattern just fell away. And I had awareness of how it was running a variety of things within my life. And I didn't even realize it. So each one of us are getting the opportunity to say, what if I relax into this moment, get clarity about what I truly want right in here and right now, and I allow the moment to inform me of how does that happen by my holding it in consciousness or free me from anything that would be blocking me from my truest desires. And how do I claim that which is going to be the highest good for me, open to the awareness that the universe is always supporting me with my greatest desires. It will bring me my highest good, but it's first going to just respond to what I say I want. And I may not always know my highest good in the moment. Welcome, Allison Tanner and Pam Swicegood. Glad you're here with us. And in this moment, I get to notice what is it that's running the show in my inner being. Is it my divine awareness that I don't know and I'm open to what wants to be clarified? Is it an awareness that I do have clarity about what I want, but I really was denying myself that? Just begin to notice. You may find many, many other things that are running you, your fears, and you're being influenced by everything around you rather than being the one that's making decisions within yourself. I choose how I feel, what I experience, what choices I make. Nothing around me decides for me. This is tough. Now, it doesn't mean I don't have circumstances that I am operating within. We are operating in a world of all kinds of circumstances right now. But I still choose. How do I experience that? How do I feel about it? What choices do I make in my consciousness and in my actions as a result of those things? They don't decide for me. The minute I think the world has decided for me, or the government or people around me or my family or anything else, I've disempowered myself. So we are here to claim our empowerment, to claim the truth of I get to notice, find that place of deep mystery, step into the unknown, and trust that as I do that, things will rise to meet me, to take me to my higher good. But along the way, they're also going to release those places where I've held myself in bondage to a false idea, a conflicted state of consciousness. so that I can be in harmony and oneness with myself, with my divine light, with the God awareness, whatever name we choose to give to that. As I open to that awareness, then it informs me more and more and more. And my decision making and my choices become conscious and aware. And I notice the nuances, but they're nuances that come from within my being, not by what's coming from outside. I choose my environment, just like I'm choosing to stay in my home. God bless you, friends. Have a fabulous, fabulous day. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, Cynthia Burrell.